Hello, and welcome to another episode of Coaster Kings A through Z. I'm Ian, and the letter of the week is Y for Youngstar Coaster. If you took a survey of over 5,000 roller coasters that are in operation today, the vast majority of them would be categorized as family coasters. While record-breaking and limit-pushing coasters might bring in publicity and coaster enthusiasts, it's often the smaller coasters that serve the larger number of park guests. The earliest roller coasters were generally pretty tame, but starting with the invention of side friction coasters and upstops on coaster trains, we saw a proliferation of wilder coaster designs, and with that, smaller coasters soon became commonplace, either accompanying a larger coaster in a park or being the centerpiece of smaller parks. Some of the earliest steel coasters were actually junior coasters. In the United States, they are built by companies like Schiff and Myler. And Aero Development introduced tubular steel with two family-friendly designs, Disneyland's Matterhorn bobsleds and Six Flags Over Texas's Runaway Mine Train. With the proliferation of mine trains, many parks were soon looking for new and sometimes more affordable ways to add this popular experience. German manufacturer Mach Rides had been producing rides and roller coasters beginning in the early 20th century. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, the manufacturer worked on one-off coaster projects while focusing more on their other rides. By the early 70s, the company was ready to introduce its own signature concept, the Blauer Enzian. Named after a German express train associated with the Alps, the Blauer Enzian is not the first, but certainly one of the most successful powered roller coaster models. Available in both traveling and stationary park models, and offered in both a standard Blauer Enzian model, layout, or an elaborate design custom for a park, the Mach-powered coaster became the first of many successful family-oriented concepts for Mach. In 1985, Mach would introduce the Schweizer-Bobbin, or the Swiss Bob, a new generation of flying turn-style bobsled coasters at the company-owned Europa Park, which the company had opened in 1975 as a showcase for the company's products. Despite its niche design and kind of unique design, the Mach bobsled has actually proven to be an enduring park model, with 6 installations over the past 40 years. In 1996, the company would debut its take on the Wild Mouse, a wildly successful product line that has seen more than 30 installations throughout the world. And in 1998, Mach opened Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld San Diego, and introduced the most successful water coaster design and a product line which expanded in 2003 with the 4-cross Super Splash model. Throughout these years, Mach would take its traditional track bed developed for the Blauer Enzian and powered coasters, and along with a more articulated train, construct more traditionally gravity-driven coasters. Some examples include 1989's spiral-lifted Eurostat at Europa Park, and 1994's elegant Gran Montserrat mine train-style coaster at Parque España Shima Spain Village in Japan. Despite these projects, it wouldn't be until 2006 that Mach would create an official line of gravity-driven family coasters, the Youngstar coaster. The first Mach Youngstar model would open at Europa Park as Pegasus. The Youngstar coaster is located in the Greece section and is themed to an archaeological dig with an elaborate train modeled after the mythological winged horse of Greek mythology. With a top height of 13 meters, or 42.7 feet, and a top speed of a little over 40 miles per hour, or 65 kilometers per hour, Pegasus quickly became a family favorite for the park. Mach paid special attention in the design of the seats on the Youngstar model, allowing for a minimum height of only 100 centimeters, or 39.3 inches. The model has seen modest success, with near clones opening in 2008 at Australia's Family Park, in 2009 at Spain's Parque Warner Madrid, and 2010 at China's Chimlong Paradise, which in that installation was simply named Youngstar Coaster, qualifying it for this podcast episode. Mach also landed a contract for 2 custom Flight of the Hippogriff coasters for both Universal Studios Hollywood in 2016 and Universal Studios Beijing in 2021. However, the line's overall impact has been small. especially compared to the wild success of Mach's Wild Mouse and Powered coasters. A big reason for this has to be the stiff competition Mach faces in this segment. Vekoma has the wildly successful junior coaster line, which started in the early 90s as the roller skater model. Incidentally, it was a Vekoma junior coaster that was originally built as the Flying Unicorn at Islands of Adventure that would be the model for the 2 Flight of the Hippogriff coasters that Mach would build for Universal Studios. Both Vekoma's junior coaster model, the Zier, Tivoli, Force, and ESC models, the Zamperla family coaster and Gerstlauer family coaster lines, and even Intamin's continually evolving family coasters have continued to outperform the Youngstar model. However, Mach is a company that has recently become much more aggressive in innovating their various product lines. It certainly will be interesting to see what's next for the Youngstar model. I personally would love to see them to expand it to include a spinning model similar to what we saw with Cobra's Curse at Busch Gardens in Tampa. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe and rate this podcast wherever you're listening. Make sure to check out thecoasterkings.com for exclusive park updates, trip reports, and a range of coaster and park-related merch. For Coaster Kings Radio, I'm Ian O'Donnell. Join us next time for the last episode of Coaster Kings A through Z.